Well, hello everyone. So glad you could join me again today. Welcome back to the channel. This is video 4 of the Lighthouse with the sea, and it's quite turbulent, as you can see that, probably because of where it's located at. And let's go ahead and get this dialed in a bit. Then I'm going to go ahead and strip off the cellophane. A little bit nervous with this one. I had some trouble removing some cellophane, and I think it's still on it right here. Yep, there it is. Let's see if I can get this off. All right. I noticed when I was cutting it, it was giving me some trouble. Let's try to get this more focused in the right spot. Awesome. Okay. As always, please subscribe, 100% free, with no contract, no anything. We're going to do the letter U. Do the bell notification. Only if you want to be notified whenever I release a video. And leave a comment, suggestion, ideal, questions, whatever it may be. Okay. And please make them 7 words or more, or YouTube does not give us the recognition of interaction. Just so you know, I am not a monetized channel. I can use all the subscriptions and interactions as I possibly can get, so it will help monetize me. Looking for the letter U. Okay, I believe that's it. Let's do F. And as always, I hope everyone is doing well, or as well as can be expected. If you have watched any of my previous videos, then you'd know that I've had surgeries and health issues with my bones and whatnot. So, totally understanding of limitations and problems that way. See how many times I can risk getting 4 on this. It can be a little tricky, only because I have a little bit of extra. Nope, it says no more. That's right, it's not doing it for me now. And of course, if you listen to some of my past videos, you will know that I use my smartphone as my video, to record my videos. I already had it for business, so this is just another business. Ah, there's a U I missed. And yeah, so okay, letter F. And due to my surgeries and other issues, I can't do videos to help others and other things. I just don't have the oomph in me anymore. I'm too old and limited physical abilities these days. And there I hijacked the U and stuck it in. Let's go ahead and do Y. Just shaking out a tray. I need some rows of drills. And for those that don't know, although I'm sure you can watch some other people's videos and see it, this is the tray. And you can see that there's rows started. And the drills have a faceted side. Excuse me, pronounced that wrong. It's faceted. They have a faceted side, which is rounder with cut edges, and they have a flat side. And to get them to become on the flat side and get into rows, so we can stick them onto the self-adhesive, they do require some shake-up to get them to go like that. Just to give a slight understanding how these function. Some people like to try crafts and are interested in them, and others are just interested in watching them. There's no wrong way about it. Just like if you like watching a lawn mowing channel, but you've never had a lawn in your life, it doesn't make it wrong to watch it. You just like watching other people do it rather than doing it yourself, which is just fine. No judgment, no explanation needed. To each their own. Some people want to watch it a lot just to see what they think of it before they ever commit to something. So, again, no judgment. Alright, I need to adjust these. There we go. They sat too high. Alright, now we got 4 of them right here. So anyways, that's why I used to watch my mother decorate cakes. My mother was a cake decorator, and it was fascinating. And you're talking back in the 70s, okay? I'm not sure how they do it today, but like she made her own roses, and she had an air color brush thing, and it was a bakery that was pretty famous for this area. It's been somewhat long closed down by now. All the old owners that owned it started retiring, and all the people kept it running, either passed on or retired. And I used to watch my mom decorate. Like, I know how to make roses by doing it yourself, just from watching her do it. You know, I used to watch her make one after another, and it was just so fascinating. I used to love standing there watching her do cakes. Not talking, just watching. It was Just so cool. Yeah, from using a flat spatula and just icing it to watching her spray the color on and to do the outline of it, and it was just awesome. So, you know, because back in the day, it wasn't illegal. Yeah, it wasn't illegal to take your kid to work. Nowadays, they don't call children's service that in some of the other states. It's called something else. But here in New York State, it's called children's service or child protective. And oh my God, if they pick on poor people. Yeah, basically. Because, you know, if you're poor, you don't have the money to fight them off and make them look like crap because of their stupid standards and the way they judge. And if you have money, you can pretty much do whatever you want. But yeah. So, but yep, we used to go to the bakery every weekend because my parents worked weekends. And my father was a baker. And my mother was a cake decorator. And we used to even help. Yep. It wasn't considered illegal to have your children around you, around equipment, around anything. And you would help. Because, well, that's what you were supposed to do. So, yeah. Interesting. I don't know if we did F, but there's one all by itself right there. So I'm going to assume that I had done it. And I'm going to hijack one and put that in because it's by its lonesome. So, there we go. Don't know. All right, now we're going to do letter L. All right. Gonna get myself a drink here for a minute. Just drinking some coffee. I do like my coffee. Okay. Yep, this is the variances in the clouds. All right. There's an L. Huh, missed a Y there too. Don't even remember what I was talking about. My parents and work. Oh yeah, because me watching my mom. And that's how I learned to do a lot of things. I would just stand and watch someone else do it. And I would be really fascinated by what they were doing. And it gave me the ability to do it myself or to try it out. Okay. And then, of course, I said I missed a Y there. So we're going to hijack Y. And we're going to put that puppy right in there. There it is. Then we're going to skip to T. I think J is going to be our last one. So let's do T. We'll fill everything else in. This is a new color. Haven't done these ones yet. Again, this has to do with the clouds. All right. Have to look around and find these because they're kind of scattered around here. Lots of T's. Okay. Because we have groupings and we have singles. So wow. Okay. So I'm kind of glancing over to see if I see any I might have missed so far. Okay, I see 3 more. Right along the edge here. There's a single one. Okay. Oh, there's one I almost missed right here. Okay, I'm not seeing any more. So next we're going to go to V. So let's put T away and drag out V. Get a quick drink while I'm at it. So finding these more scattered than anything, but okay, got a group right there. Oh, we got lots of them over here. I see that. Wow. Did not even notice them. I was looking up along the top and the side here. And, well, they're definitely limited there. But once you get over here, I can even use the larger stylus for this. Okay. So okay, 5 more right there. Okay. All right. Just go ahead and finish filling in these V's so we can go to the next color. This is the stormy clouds up in here. Okay. Just glancing over quick. All right. I think the next one is going to be a Z that we're going to be filling in. And that is like a blue-gray. Blue-gray, purplish color. Not a huge amount of these, but enough to okay. And then I see some up there. Okay, so got some C's here. And have some C's here. See a couple of them right there. Okay, glance over this, see if I see any more. Nope. All right, so I guess the next is going to be the letter I. Okay. All right. My son's cat whining. Boy, when he goes to the potty, it smells. He's good about covering it, but it doesn't make it smell any better, in my opinion. It's quite foul. Whoops. There we go. That's a J. All right, just looking for more I's. And there's a couple right there. Oh, I see a Y I missed too. There. Right there. Any more I's? Yep, there's another. Almost missed that one. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and hijack a Y and a L. I missed two, both right there. This is I. All right, so here's the L. I'm going to hijack that and put that in. And then we also have a Y for me to hijack. And put that one in. All right, now what's the next? The next is going to be an S. All right. We're finally hitting some colors. Yep. All right. Whoops. There we go. All right. Of course, back when I was young, the only other thing that you could watch was TV, because that was before technology was like really huge. So I'm like one of those persons who that is in the middle where technology was just starting to become a thing, and then it just exploded. The only thing I can say is that in my early days of technology, it was expensive. Like, you couldn't afford it unless you had lots of money. And even growing up, okay, so letter E now. Even growing up, I grew up in very, very poor. So we didn't have the latest or greatest things as they do today. Heck, I remember when I had my first phone, I was in my mid-30s, and it was the old-fashioned, I bought it used. Yep, it was used, and it was the old-fashioned Trek phone with the antenna that went up in the air, and it had no games on it. So you would have to buy the points to use it. And because I remember when cellular phones were first coming out, and they were stupid expensive, like, wow. So, like I said, I've watched technology grow and change in rapid paces, but to be a part of the use of them, you had to have money. If you didn't have money, you weren't involved in it. So it definitely was an experience. And I'll admit, sometimes I find it difficult to learn new technology, but I do try. Sometimes it can become second nature as you get used to it. Okay, so now the letter B. So let me put this one away. Find B. Okay. All right. Very few of these, I guess. I see 2 more as a group. That's it. All right. That does B. Next is G. Okay. Getting to use a whole bunch of different colors now. All the changes here. Okay. Doing G right now. Okay. Okay, any more groupings? I don't see any more, so there's one. Okay. I see another one right here. All right, now I see the letter O. Okay. It's like a red-violet color. Okay, lots of groupings, so we're gonna go into it and see about working on the groupings. So a perfect example is, so cassette players were too expensive for my parents to ever buy us, even one for Christmas. And then when they started coming out with Walkmans, Well, every time a new technology came out, it made the older technology value to be less. So then my mom could afford to buy me and my sister one each for Christmas, and we were thrilled with it. Heck, we could put batteries in it and put the handle over top of our bike handlebars and bicycle for miles on end and still hear music. It was good enough for us, because that's what we had in the day. We didn't have, we couldn't afford a Walkman. They were hugely expensive, and so were the headphones. All right, that does the letter O. Then we're gonna do N. All right. So we grew up being grateful for whatever we were given, because we weren't given much, and we weren't given stuff very often. Like half of our Christmas was always boots, coats, hats, scarves, mittens, and a few articles of clothing. And then we were lucky if we got like 5 gifts of other things, because our family was huge. It was very big. And it was no fault of my mother's at all. She ended up being allergic to birth control pills, so she couldn't control how big the family was, and in fact, getting pregnant and having babies darn near killed her. And in fact, she ended up having me because she was trying to take birth control pills, and she kept hemorrhaging, and the doctor told her to quit taking them, and then she got pregnant from me. So, yeah, I was an unwanted child, which I think I mentioned that in another video I had. And I had some, being from a large family, they were pretty cruel and mean. And not my mother, but my siblings. And they were darn sure to make sure they told me how unwanted I was. I gotta get a drink of coffee here. So, you know, and back in them days, they wouldn't sterilize a woman without, heck, they didn't even talk about sterilizing women. You had babies till it nearly killed you, and then they would take and do something about it, and they didn't do vasectomies on men. I think my father would have had one to save my mom's life. He loved her. And, you know, and they had a healthy, normal relationship. And, well, having babies can be dangerous when you have too many. So my mother had 6 children living, and 6 miscarriages. Yeah, 6 miscarriages. And the last miscarriage is when it was after my youngest sister. My youngest sister, she almost died. They did a whole bunch of blood transfusions to save her life. And because, again, her uterus was worn out. It was shot. She should not have been continuing to have babies. And so my sister was born at 6 months. She was only 6 months along when she was born. And she was in an incubator, and my mother had blood transfusions to save her life. And, yeah. So that's why I believe in women's health care. We should have rights. We should have choices. And it's not up to that person or you or you or you or you. It should be up to the person that's getting pregnant. And the quality of their life. It's their choice, their body, their life. I'm not religious. I refuse to be religious. It's like a cult, and I have no interest in it. If it's anything like my upbringing, it's cruel, it's mean, and it's abusive. So I have no interest in it whatsoever. In fact, I had a grandmother who lived across the road from us who was cruel, mean, and abusive, and she was a Baptist. And she didn't like me either. So, just another person to be cruel to a child that doesn't deserve it. So, and I will not be drawn into any cults. It was bad enough that my older siblings was cruel, mean, and abusive. And then, of course, at the school, we got the same thing. Treated the same way. So, if I have a grave distrust of people, of humankind, of the rich, and etc., so on, well, it's been pretty much earned. Whoops, one fell off, and I think I have one too many. So we were a burden. That's how I was treated, like I was a burden. And my mother wasn't around much because she worked. My father worked all the time. They were undereducated, poor, and my siblings were mean and cruel, especially the older ones. And so life was hard. We were treated like slaves, made to work all the time, cook, clean, take care of the house. The older kids watched us because, well, my mother couldn't afford babysitters, so they were the babysitters. It was a hard life. Coffee's being mean to Frisky. Now he's whining to his daddy because he got in trouble and got sprayed at. So, yeah. My son just told him to shut up. He got in trouble. Oh, that's so funny. Cats are as bad as kids. I'm going to go whine to the other parent because I got in trouble. So, yeah. So at one time, not that I ever got to be one, I wanted to be a veterinarian because I loved animals more than I liked people. I can't say I actually love animals anymore. I understand them, but now I'm old, I'm tired, I don't care. I like being an adult better than I ever liked being a child. I never would ever, ever, ever want to be a child again, ever. It was the most miserable experience in my life. I'd rather be an adult. Because as a child, you're a victim. You're powerless. Anybody can do anything they want to you, and there's nothing you can do about it. So, like I said, I'd rather be an adult any day. Wouldn't wish that on anybody. The same with family members. Talk about cruelty. And they do it behind other people's back. They say mean things to you, make fun of you, treat you like you're less than. And they do it where nobody else can hear them do it because, well, they know what they're doing is wrong. And of course, you don't dare to tell anyone because they threaten to hurt you. And you believe them because, well, that's what's done. You're abused, you're beaten, you're treated horribly. So, as you can imagine, I'm pretty much estranged from my family. I really don't have much to do with any of them. There's like one cousin I really like that I get along with. She's a first cousin. And one of my siblings, which is my youngest sister, I associate with her. That's about it. Yep. And I came from a huge family. As you can imagine, my mother was not the only one that had a lot of children. And in fact, I was a great aunt before I was even a mother. I don't associate with any of my nieces or nephews. They're all a product of their parents. I don't like their parents, so as you can imagine, I don't like them. I don't like their attitudes. I don't like the way they talk to people. I don't like the way they treat people. So, I do associate with my own children and my grandchildren. I only got my grandchildren from one child. The other three, for one reason or another, has chosen not to have children of their own. Two of them is because they're disabled. They got mental and physical disabilities, which is understandable. All right, as you can see, this is it. And until next time, y'all take care.